Peace, Royal Family, and thank you all for tuning in to another edition of the original histories of Africa and migrations of the ancient world. I am your King and Royal Majesty, Pharaoh Mitzrayim, historian, geographer, and the voice of truth. And today I will be revealing the truth on the subject. Ancient Egyptians fled to West Africa after the fall of Egypt in 663 BCE, according to the oldest Bible. But before we get started, be sure to like the video and subscribe to this channel. Let us now begin our journey to truth. To find out what happened in Egypt in the year 663 BCE, we must first go here to the ancient records of Assyria and Babylon, translated by Daniel D. Luckenbill, reign of Ashurbanipal, 669 to 631 BCE, the Rassam cylinder, page 296, and it says in quote, "I took the road after Tandamani to Nut Amun, marched as far as Thebes, his stronghold. He saw the approach of my terrible battle array, forsook Thebes, fled to the city of Kipkipi. That city, Thebes, my hands captured entirely." According to the text we just read, the Rassam cylinder states, when the army of Assyrians reached the city of Thebes, the king Tanu Amun fled. And when the Assyrian army arrived at the city of Thebes, the city of Thebes was forsaken, abandoned, and deserted. And notice, no battle is mentioned in the text. Why? Because the forsaken city of Thebes had no army and no population to fight against the Assyrian invaders. And therefore, the city of Thebes fell prey to the Assyrians. And now we know, according to the Rassam cylinder, the city of Thebes was forsaken and deserted. And this is the truth according to the Rassam cylinder. But let us continue. To find out more about the fall of Thebes in Egypt that took place in the year 663 BCE, and to find out what happened to the people of Thebes during this time, we must go here to the oldest Bible, known as the Septuagint Bible, in the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 8 and 9, and it says in quote, "Prepare thee a portion, tune the cord, prepare a portion for Ammon, she that dwells amongst the rivers. Water is round about her, whose dominion is the sea, and whose walls are water. And Ethiopia is her strength, and Egypt, and there was no limits to the flight of her enemies, and the Libyans became her helpers." According to the text we just read, Ethiopia and Egypt was the power and strength of Ammon, meaning the city of Ammon in Thebes. And there was no limit to the flight of her enemies, and the Libyans were their helpers. But this translation of the text is a false translation, and the word enemies is not present in the original Greek text. But so that we can get a better understanding of this text and find out what the Septuagint is really saying according to the original Greek, I'm going to show my very own Greek to English translation of this text. Let us continue. Let us now go here to my very own accurate Greek to English translation of the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 9, in the Septuagint Bible. And it says in quote, "Kai Ethiopia Atos Iskas, Kai Aegyptos, Kai Esti Uk Tes, Peras, Fugis, Kai Lebus, Egenito, Atos, Bonthai." And when translated to English, it says in quote, "In Ethiopia was her strength, in Egypt too, and there stood no limit in their fleeing, and the Libyans became her helpers." According to my very own Greek to English translation of the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 9, the power and strength of Ammon, meaning the Egyptians and Ethiopians, in large infinite numbers, fled to the Libyans for help. But the question that has to be answered is, where in Libya did these people of Ammon go? Let us continue. To find out where in Africa did the people of Ammon go, we must go here to Diodore Siculus' Library of Histories, Book 17, chapter 49 to 50, and it says in quote, "Having settled the affairs of Egypt, Alexander went off to the temple of Ammon. The land which is sacred to the god Ammon is occupied on the south and west by Ethiopians, and on the north by Libyans, a nomadic people." According to the ancient historian Diodore Siculus, the people of Ammon, who fled from Thebes in Egypt during the Assyrian invasion, dwelt hundreds of miles west of Egypt in the Siwa oases in Libya, where the temple of Ammon stood. And the people of Ammon also dwelt southwest of the Siwa oases in the land of the Ethiopians. But the question that has to be answered is, how far southwest was this land of the Ethiopians? And to answer that question, we must focus on how far south the eastern Ethiopians south of Egypt dwelt, because the land of the western Ethiopians southwest of Siwa must parallel with the eastern Ethiopians south of Egypt. And when we parallel the land of the western Ethiopians southwest of Siwa with the eastern Ethiopians south of Egypt in their capital city, Napata, we clearly see that the land of the western Ethiopians southwest of Siwa was located along the Niger River in West Africa, which is far southwest of the Siwa oasis beyond the Sahara Desert. And now we know the people of Ammon, who were exiled out of Thebes in Egypt by the Assyrians, dwelt in the Siwa oasis and along the Niger River in West Africa. And this is the truth according to Diodore Siculus. So there it is. When the source is brought forth, the truth comes out. And when the source is present, the truth cannot be denied. And truth is, the people of Ammon, known as the Ammonians, dwelt in the lands to the west and far southwest of Egypt in the Siwa oases and along the Niger River in West Africa. And this migration to the west of the people of Ammon from Thebes must be dated to the Assyrian conquest of Egypt that took place in the year 663 BCE, because this was the first time and only time that the once and great powerful city of Thebes was invaded, destroyed, and depopulated by the Assyrians. And it was during this time that the people of Ammon fled west to the Siwa oases in Libya, and later sent a colony southwest to the Niger River in West Africa. And now we know what part of Africa the true descendants of the Egyptians from Thebes dwelt. And on this, I conclude.